Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Pick a Card reading. This is for the week of February 16th of 2020, and I can feel my readings are getting simpler, more to the point, and less eloquent, trying to layer on so much meaning, because I think it serves all of us well to get like right down to the core of something that can just be my goal here always with my messages is to give you something that you can remember throughout your upcoming week as just a little, kind of like a little coin or a little crystal or a little feather that you keep in your pocket or you keep somewhere that you can look at it throughout, the many hours of your day during the week, and just simply be reminded of something very simple, very straightforward that is at the core of you. It's something that's meant to take us out of the rat wheel, being on that hamster wheel of just moving through the mundaneness of life. And instead, my invitation to you is to always seek the magic in your day because it is always there. And meanwhile, I'm also a very practical person. I am a person that I have to-do lists and I love being productive. I love being efficient. I'm a very direct communicator. So as woo-woo as I am, I'm also that very down-to-earth kind of a person. So that's what my mission is in doing these readings for free every week, is simply to offer some little nugget, some little token that you can remember throughout the week, that essentially what it does with your energy, if you allow it, if you are open to it, is it kind of takes your head from your down, your all mixed up in the mechanics of life, and it just goes whoop like that. Look up, look out. There's a lot more going on than we even allow ourselves to look at. And so I can feel this change in the tide of my readings. It just feels simpler and it feels cleaner, but it also feels softer. Some weeks I'm a little surprised at how the readings come through, and it's always, I just go with it, whatever's meant to come. So I won't say that I won't have readings that are a little bit of this sort of kick us in the ass, like, come on, you got to straighten up and fly right. We have those moments too, myself most definitely included, always. But I just, even with those messages and that tide of the feeling of the reading, it all comes from a place of like, you're too down in the weeds. And it's really easy to get in the weeds right now. There's a lot going on. So I'm like wanting to give us a break, always. And if you can just maybe remember something out of the message for you this week. And again, remember, you can pick 1, 2, or all 3 cards, whichever one kind of spoke to you when you looked at that picture at the beginning of the video. I really love creating as personalized of a message as I can for people, understanding that I'm reaching a really broad audience here. And if you ever want to go deeper for you personally on any part of your life, or just want to hear kind of from that higher self, that big blue sky part of you, then you can go on to my website. I've linked it down below in the YouTube description if you want to get a reading. No pressure ever. But a lot of people do find that helpful if they're at a juncture point in their life and really kind of wondering, what could I latch onto here? What could I kind of look to as a source of my own magic to keep me looking up, looking at that blue sky? And the thing is, the blue sky is within you. And that's core to this week's message, okay? Very simply put, a carrier pigeon is delivering a message to you. So always when this is one of the Sabian symbols, And always when birds are mentioned, it refers to spirit. And with that is what's implicit within it is the fact that obviously the carrier pigeon needs to fly through all kinds of skies to reach you. And that all those skies, the various types of skies you can have, are within you. And so we want to set ourselves up to offer an environment that makes that carrier pigeon, makes it easy and clear and wide open vision for that message to reach us this week. And that takes, again, personal responsibility for us to say, I choose a blue sky day today. I choose to not get muddled down in the details or to worry too much about my future or to worry too much about the past or to anticipate that I'm going to have these conflicts during my day. Not necessarily so. There can be many days where you actually experience win-win situations by saying something very directly, but with kindness and with respect to another person that perhaps is not respecting you, or that you have to come to a new agreement. There can be a really good way to come together and truly have a win-win situation. And that's that blue sky within you that's calling that forward. So in order to allow this carrier pigeon to reach you this week, and it will be throughout the week, over and over. In he comes. Whoop, here's the message. You want to set up those blue skies, clear sailing, no turbulence, no tornadoes, no mistiness, or really dark gray skies where can't even see the direction. We want the clear blue sky, okay? So let's get on with our reading then. For those of you that picked this card, this is from the Soul Coaching deck. Very soft deck. All 3 decks that were chosen this week are very soft. And of course, what I love is the bluebird is on here. So this is speaking right to that carrier pigeon. And you have impeccability. Oh boy, watch your word. Watch your word. But look at all the purple. The purple and this image of looking at the details. And this card says, I am impeccable in my thought, word, and deed. If you have not read the 4 Agreements, that is a fantastic book. I've been thinking I really would like to either go back and read that or listen to it during my commute to work. It is, talk about impeccability. It brings you to a place of really caring about how you conduct yourself every single day, that you have a certain bucket of energy that is available to you every day, and how you choose to take tender care to actually serve almost as a parent over that energy is always your choice. And this is the feeling I'm getting. So I'm starting to understand the direction of this reading this week. The cards are speaking to how we can set up that best environment for the carrier pigeon to deliver the message. And part of that message from the carrier pigeon is about impeccability. And so what I'm getting with my vision is the bird, with the message, so to speak, and the sky, the blue sky. You can't separate these two. You can't get to higher uplifting messages, and really what that equates to is your vibrational energy, which is real. When we're not feeling well physically, mentally, emotionally, we bring our energy in and it's very contracted. You're very likely to not have an outward expansive, what I would call a blue sky kind of a day. You have had those days many times in a row over your past. That's all the kind of proof you really need. And the days when you wake up and you feel just, like wide open. You're ready for the day. And of course, not every day is a blue sky day, but it could be. It could be. What if most days were blue sky days? And what I feel the carrier pigeon saying to you is I can't get to you if there's no openness at all. I keep feeling your energy maybe going like this. And believe me, we need those times. And sometimes it's really necessary. But notice if you could be, possibly, in a pattern of doing that contraction more often and not even knowing anymore that you're doing it. Maybe you don't realize, oh, I could give myself a break and not need to be on the defensive or to feel like I'm going to get hurt or that I don't know what's going to happen and there's this fear and anxiety and all of this. That contracts the energy. And what I'm trying to equate it to as a way to visualize it is that energy is like the blue sky. How expansive can you make it so this carrier pigeon can make its way to you with the good messages, with the things that uplift you? Because energy that you put out brings energy that is likened to that. That simply is a law of nature. It's the way it works. And so what I'm wanting for all of us is that blue sky is the openness to possibilities, to clear thinking, to overall clarity of mind and your spirit, your overall spirit, your emotional self, your mental self, all of it. And then these also clear energies make themselves easily. They just flow right into your life. So with this impeccability, I do want to bring up, the 4 agreements. If you have not read that or listened to it, really, that's in my top 5 books, my top 5 spiritual books of all time. It's a simple read, but it is profound. And it speaks to the importance of every day attending to the details. This is you. You wake up each morning. The purple that's indicated there is equated to the carrier pigeon. It is that spirit. It is our crown chakra is related to the purple. And it's that kind of royalty that we really all are on some level. That we have access to this higher wisdom, to this sense of no bounds, nothing that is impossible. That is available to you. Every morning you wake up to this beautiful scroll of potential. And the scroll is empty when you wake up. And then you start writing the details with your energy. You're writing the details. Be impeccable about that. Be picky. Be a craftsman. I love that word. That just speaks to me so loudly. Be a craftsman and say, I care. I care about how I conduct my energy. And this is in everything. It's how you drive on the highway. It's how you pull up to the gas pump and you're waiting for somebody to be done. And, you're not sitting in the car fuming. You're taking a moment to read an email that just came in while the other person is finishing up. It's be impeccable. Where am I placing my energy? Because I'm setting up that vibrational sky for these carrier pigeons, and there's multiple ones coming in for you of wanting to deliver these uplifting, potential-filled messages. And really, what I mean by that is people, situations, a song on the radio, something great happening at work, a family member or an old friend contacting you from out of nowhere. These are the things I mean by those carrier pigeons. They're just really beautiful, magical things that happen. And we don't know how, but we feel the days when that does happen, there's something special going on. It's because your blue sky is wide open. You're like, come on in. All right, runway's open. Come on in, all you carrier pigeons. Be impeccable. be impeccable. I want you to think about that you've got an empty scroll every day. And that is equated to the energy bucket that you're setting up for yourself. And every action, every bit. And you don't have to overanalyze it. Just do what feels like the right thing. That's what impeccability is. It feels like the right thing. And it doesn't downgrade anybody else. And most of all, it doesn't downgrade yourself. Impeccability is working to the top of your game. You can do more. You can be more for yourself. And therefore for other people too. It just naturally happens. Okay? The second card is from the Flower Therapy deck. Also, beautiful, soft deck. Oh, the pink rose. Let your inner beauty shine. Oh my gosh. Pure softness. Just a level of purity wanting to come through for you. I want you to see this pink rose. And for those of you who enjoy flowers, maybe get yourself a pink rose, or maybe a few of them, maybe a whole bunch of them, and have them, even if you got like a few of them, and have one at work. I might want to do this. Have one at work, have one at home, have one right by your bed, like maybe in your bathroom, wherever you spend the most. Really think about, where do you spend the most time each day? And put a pink rose there. And if you don't like flowers or don't want to buy some, even print out a picture of, and it doesn't have to be a pink rose. It can be, I would suggest a flower in your case though, and one that is opening at least a little bit. And just whatever flower really speaks to you, but it feels important that the color not be too harsh. I don't know why I'm wanting to say that, but I am. I'm not feeling sunflower energy here, for instance, and I love sunflowers. But that level of vibrance is not the energy I'm picking up on for you. It's more just absolutely beautifully soft. It's something that just makes you go, oh, inside your heart. And that is important energetically for you this week. This card says, you are a brilliant example of God's love. Everything about you is perfect, so let your light shine and inspire others. Your energy has a very big impact on the people around you. And I don't know if you realize how much it does impact. There is an interconnectedness about you that this is part of the carrier pigeon's message to you. You need to know that, because what it does is it inspires a level of responsibility within you that isn't about saving other people. No savior or martyr stuff here. I don't speak those kind of messages. I don't like that vibe. But it is a sense of it's okay that maybe I have a role in that way, that I do inspire others, but that I first do it for myself because, damn it, it just feels good. It just feels good to be soft and a little open and a little vulnerable and a little okay with saying, you know what? I'm not having a good day. Or I feel kind of down. Or, part of the blue sky energy that I talk about is not that we're, unicorns and rainbows in every second. Part of the blue sky is the openness, the availability to be open to whatever is coming up and out. That is just as expansive. And it allows those moods, and really they're just moods. That's really all it is. There's something, it rises up. We go through these cycles. It's a known thing. You can look back on your life and have all the evidence you need. You always know this too shall pass. Those are some of the best words of wisdom I've ever received in my life, and they continue to ring true. And so you know it's going to pass on by. So it's just the openness that, yeah, okay, I'm having that kind of a day, but I'm open to let it come up and out. And I don't need to sit here and wind on it, but I can take that and I can make the most of it. That feels like a core part of your message, is that the beautiful rose, it makes the most of the moment. It's a slow opening process, and then the cycle is done. It's allowing that process to unfold, whatever that may be. And that is just as energetically open for those carrier pigeon moments to reach you. And I think, again, the pigeon, so to speak, really wants you to be aware of your effect. It's like when you do have, those of you who work or are at work and perhaps you have flowers delivered or you get flowers for yourself. Isn't it amazing how many people comment on that? And like, geez, I should do that for myself. I never do that. Or that's so kind, that person sent that to you, whatever it may be. People notice that stuff. It's really taking kind care, again, of your own energy, that it matters. It matters what your surroundings are like. I'm also wanting to say to you, a part of what the carrier pigeon needs to reach you is also really take a look at your spaces. How I had said, if you get a few flowers and maybe you put them in the prime, 3 spaces where you spend the most time. Pay attention to how cleaned up those spaces are. Literally, is there a bunch of crap sitting everywhere? Is there clutter? Is it dusty? Have you had a tray up of some sort for a really long time and stuff just keeps building up on it? Or do you have things that you simply haven't taken the time to put them away? Take the time this week. This is like an underlying message for the whole reading here. It feels to me, we need to take the time. The details matter. You're cleaning up your vibrational energy, because something like carrier pigeon moments, which are those people, the situations, the friend calling out of nowhere, the buttoning up of a family relationship that has been in tangles. These are all carrier pigeon moments. That's what I mean by that. It wants to come in and it just wants to open up your world and to say, things are actually going pretty well. Things really are working out for me, even when it seems that it could be falling apart. It's because it's ready to fall away. Or I love the terms of things fall apart so that they can be built into something new, so that they can literally come together. That is necessary sometimes. But I feel like we're personally taking a real closer look at what is our part in it, though. We can't just sit here and wind on whatever is going wrong, or I can't see the blue sky cat, or I'm not receiving the carrier pigeon. It's not coming to me. It's time to take a look around at some very simple things and to take a look at these beauty moments of where you spend your time, and even review, do you really want to spend your time in those places, so much time in those places? Or do you want to change that up too? Okay? Very small little things, but they're vitally important because they exude your energy out. And that's how the carrier pigeon knows, okay, I see the runway, I'm going in. It can't see you otherwise, okay? The last card is from, I think this is called the Spirit Animal Oracle. I never remember for some reason, but it is among my favorite decks because I love the artwork. You have the lizard spirit. I love it. Dream the world into being. Oh, beautiful dreamer that you are. And what I'm getting, this says lizard, but I'm getting chameleon is what's coming up for me with this, which chameleon is a form of lizard. Um, that a big part of this, because I've been talking so far about the importance of your daily energy. When you wake up each morning, you have a fresh, clean slate to start with. And I feel like we're getting back to the basics here this week, like real basic, really clean, really simple. The carrier pigeons are looking for you. They're looking around. They're trying to see the most direct route to come in. What we know is if there's nothing but crystal clear blue skies, they have no problem coming in. The problem is that a lot of days we don't have crystal clear blue skies, and we're trying to find our way to that more consistently. And with the chameleon message that I'm getting with this, dream your world into being, is that you need to pay attention to each day. You have the blank slate, but to really pay attention to, if you do indeed want these carrier pigeon messages, and that can be people, situations, friends calling from out of nowhere, job opportunities coming up, money flowing in from God only knows where. Just really, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel expansive. It makes you feel like life is working. If that indeed is what you want, then you have to feel into, and it's going to be different for you every day because it's the chameleon. What am I feeling today? Do I feel like this is a wide out there kind of a day? Am I really like putting it all out there and really talkative and, very engaged? Or am I kind of in hiding a little bit? What I want to say is don't put the judgment down about when I talk about blue sky day, because this is very subtle here. When I talk about blue sky day, it doesn't always mean, It doesn't always mean that, and especially for you with this card, because the dreamer can dream anything, and that can be from any state. There's a shapeshifter energy with you. And what I mean is sometimes you're kind of behind the scenes. Have you ever been in situations where you're kind of behind the scenes, but based on sometimes your non-engagement in something actually makes the magic happen? You let the energy play out, and it's just like, it all just kind of comes together. And then there's other times when you will know, because people will literally like engage you. They will be like, well, what do you think? And like to trust those impulses. To trust, it's like there's a neon light going off. Okay, foot on the gas. Okay, let's pull off. Okay, let's set her on cruise control. You get signals, I feel. I mean, this is a message specific to you. I feel you get signals as to how engaged or not. Because then if you try to engage and that's not quite the energy fit, you're going to start feeling backlash. You're going to be like, ugh. It's sort of like a wheel going around, and it's got a little bag hanging off of it that every time it comes around, a little whack across your face, It's a really funny image that I'm getting. But we have to be open and aware and willing. This is the big thing. Be willing to shapeshift, to change the color, to be like, okay, and I'm shifting and I'm going over here. And I'm, in days, can you feel like days when you feel kind of more watery and like you can kind of morph yourself a little bit better and you don't get too stuck and staunch in your belief, you get a little bit more like, okay, well, that's not working, so I'm going over here. Like if you've got a project that is kind of like not going anywhere, you're just like, you know what? I'm going to leave that for a little while and I'm going to go spend my energy over here. That's another piece of your message from the carrier pigeon is just spend your energy wisely. Spend it where it's doing something for you. And where you might have to become, because a lot of it is, I feel like it's about perception with you, that maybe you feel like people think that you always have to be, you always have to be super engaged and so visible, and it's an expectation that you might believe that other people have of you that is directing your behavior and is therefore directing your energy, that clean slate we talked about, when indeed it really can be okay for you to be the chameleon some days and to just be kind of blind to those people. And you're over here working on this other project. I'm hoping I'm making sense. This is a very subtle but very important and complex kind of message for you. That it's okay to shapeshift. It's okay to change your colors. It's okay to not be full out, I'm super shiny and, that I have to be foot on the gas pedal every day all the time. That you can pull back, and when you have those chameleon moments of pulling, like I'm just going to flow into the background, what happens is your energy literally does become kind of invisible. And you have to just then notice, don't take it personally if people aren't including you. You're following your own vibe. You're following your own signal to say, you know what? I'm being picky because I've got the clean slate in the morning. And I'm just not feeling like I really want to be engaged in all that. I'd rather be over here and working on this. That you get to pick. This is your use of your own energy. So being able to be fluid, and you can think about it in either way, whatever works for you. Whether that's chameleon moment, like am I fading into the background, or am I going to be wide out so I can be seen and really be engaged? And notice if people are actively engaging you, that probably means I need to bring my colors out. If people are kind of like, you could be saying stuff and it's like, there's no, hello, anybody hear me at all? That's probably an indicator, okay, I'm just going to kind of fade into the background and let this play itself out because it's not wise use of my energy. Okay, that's what feels important to say. So you can either think about it in terms of the chameleon or that other image I had of being a shapeshifter, meaning think about yourself in a fluid, in like viscosity kind of a way. Either I'm really, really fluid, just like water, or do I have a little more substance? And am I really solid to the point of being staunch? And where do I want to be on that continuum? Or do I want to be like Mercury, the silver Mercury, where there's some form to it, but it slips and slides and finds its way. And you can be anywhere on that continuum, just like you can with the chameleon. I think there are actually some animals or some that they can actually have like part of them that is invisible or fades into the background, and then a different part of them that is color, and that's another option too. But you get to pick. Don't allow that energy set to happen outside of you, to be external to you. Let it be your choice. Okay? There we go, everybody. I hope that that's helpful and makes some sense. It feels really important to get down to the basics of our energy use, our energy dedication, and that it's important for you to pay attention to that very personally for yourself, okay? And then that carrier pigeon or pigeons can find their way to you more easily. Have a good week.